Hello guys, in my previous video I discussed validity of astrology and told you my intentions on how to prove or disprove it. There I mentioned a possible correlation between weight problems, be it gain or loss of weight, and the day you were born. Here I decided to talk more about the idea of astrology forces, not just genetics and your lifestyle, influencing your metabolism. We all know someone who eats everything and a lot, but basically never gains any significant weight, right? On the other hand, there are people who do regular workout, do not eat much, etc., and still struggle to lose that stubborn fat. Even some professional athletes who do heavy workout on daily basis look chubby during their careers. Take a look at some of them. You have probably heard about Shaquille O'Neal, famous USA basketball player, who has always looked not just chubby but also huge during his career. He still does though. Then DeMarcus Cousins, another USA basketball player, or a certain Nikola Jokic. Even some soccer players, or football, however you want to call it, struggled with this. For example, the so-called original Ronaldo, the one from Brazil. Then girls, a former tennis player Ana Ivanovic and the chess player Alexandra Botez. What's common for these folks from astrological point of view? Big influence of Taurus and Libra energies in their respective natal charts. There is a big chance that you already know what natal charts are, basically a circular scheme of major celestial bodies seen from the Earth at the moment you were born. They are all placed in one of 12 star constellations and one of 12 houses of that circle. So what is a Taurus or Libra energy influence by definition? Basically, one or more major celestial bodies set in either Taurus or Libra constellation at time of your birth. What counts as a major celestial body when we talk about this particular topic? That's the Sun, Moon, Venus, and Mars. Something that also affects your looks is rising sign or ascendant. That's the place in a natal chart where the first house begins. But that's something we don't usually know unless the exact hour and minute of birth are known. Right now you might be wondering what's wrong with being under Libra or Taurus influence. Technically nothing, it's just that people with these tend to be less vigorous than those being affected by, let's say, dominant Aries or Sagittarius, which are much more energetic signs. Of course, the famous people I mentioned are some of the most extreme examples, since with the exception of Bottas, all of them did most rigorous trainings yet still couldn't shake off some of that excess fat. We can only imagine what would have happened without the heavy burning of all those calories, which is what ordinary people with natal charts similar to theirs could expect. Common traits for people born with Libra or Taurus energies should be, according to astrology theory, a clean soft skin, so-called baby face without major impurities such as acne, even wrinkles do not appear easily on their faces as they age, but also a bit slower metabolism does solve that fat storage. If strong fat-burning energies such as previously mentioned Aries or Sagittarius are not present, then natal charts with planets or ascendant in Taurus or Libra seem pretty doomed from the point of gaining weight. Could all of this be just a coincidence? After all, there are many people out there with Libra and Taurus energies looking slim, without any signs of excess fat. But also, those possessing close to zero Libra and Taurus energies, yet are overweight. Apparently, astrology can only predict whether you'll have a hard time maintaining your ideal weight or not, but it can't prevent you from looking close to perfect as long as your diet is fine, you work out regularly, and do not suffer from any major diseases such as diabetes, for example. Sure, it will take you more time and effort to look slim, while others who are not negatively affected by a date of birth will do that easily, but it's doable as long as you're persistent. We could compare this to singing actually. Someone who is just naturally talented singer won't have to practice a lot to be good, while someone else who is not naturally gifted will have to practice and study a lot to eventually reach the level of the talented one. And finally, to sum this video up, people with dominant Libra and or Taurus energies in their birth charts tend to be pretty, their face and skin look younger than their biological clock shows, but they also accumulate fat faster than majority of those who do not belong to this group. Do you agree or disagree with me? Whatever is your answer, please help me conduct research. As astrology is still considered an empirical intuitive skill rather than proven science, I will use this opportunity to ask you to fill the form I created and posted down below in the description of this video. It won't take more than a minute of your time to do it. Data I gathered that way will be used in experiments whose purpose is finding a scientific proof for certain aspects of astrology. Check out my previous video for more details on this. And that is all. Please vote this video and subscribe if you want to find out more about astrology and health-related topics in my future videos. Bye!